Hey everyone, welcome back to all new exciting Bugsmashers. We're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to do things in 3D. Right.
No, Mark, that's not how 3D works.
Damn it, Randy. No. All right, back to 1D. Bugsmashers! Hey everyone, we're here in a fun little test level. Actually, this is going to be the next, what do you call it, SC 2.00 fun map that you guys will get to play. And we have a fun bug where the thrusters stop working after you get in the ship, fly it for a bit, and then get out of the seat and go back into the seat. So we are going to try to replicate that bad boy right now. And we are in a local multiplayer server, so as I get into my seat, you can see my fun dedicated server. I'll hide him off to the side. He grabs his little joystick. Wait for all the fun little sequences. So much cooler in 3D. Randy was wrong. So, alright, we're gonna fly up a bit. Move forward. As you can see, I can move all the way around. All right, let's hop back out of the seat and see what happens. We need like a super hyperstate animation for that. Oh crap, pirates are coming. We gotta get in the seat fast. One day. Oh no, I'm getting shot, but I gotta turn on all this stuff first. And grab my joystick. Alright. So now, as you can see, I'm trying to move around. And no, my ship doesn't work. No! So, if I actually turn on the mystical pipe system, let's make this a little bit more readable, you'll notice that all these green things in the power, none of them, well, I should say there's a bunch of items turned on, but none of them are in my thrusters. So what's happening is when I get into the seat the first time, I'm able to use the thrusters, and it'll actually show up in this thing. And then when I get out of the seat and back into the seat, I no longer am able to use the item, and as such, you don't see them in the power request. So if I turn off, I'll leave that on, and we'll go into, we call it the shared item manager. This bad boy is in charge of saying, hey, if you sit down in this seat, you're going to get access to this item, this item, this item, and this item. And it's all controlled by the server, so if a sneaky client's like, I should get this, server will be like, nope. So when we get a packet from the server, we'll run through this bit of logic, and this is the information we get from the server. What's our authority? Do we have authority? Were we denied? Were we given it? Was it canceled? And the mystical is selected. This selection is basically, all right, I have the authority, now I could actually use the item. So if I have ownership of the thruster, I use the thruster, now the thruster is on. And if you could toggle the thruster on and off by using it, or selection. So I could turn off the thruster, turn on the thruster. So the selection is basically on-off. And when we get or change our authority, or if we change our selection, it will deselect it, change the authority, and reselect the item if it needs to be. And what's happening is when we get out of the seat, we'll get a packet saying, hey, we're no longer selected, and we were selected, so we're going to do our deselection. Cool. And it changes the authority getting lost, and we don't select it again because, well, we lost it. When we finally get out of the seat, the authority now goes back to no longer the owner or the actor. It goes back to just being a default thing, and what happens is this selection gets stuck. It gets set to turn on by default. And because it was off and now it's on, it gets turned off. But then since I left it, it's still set as turned on. So the selection is still stuck. So when I sit back in, and this is set to true, I never get my selection. The client is effectively stuck and where the selection is set to true. So what we have to do is, instead of serializing the selection, because yes, it may have changed on the server, but the client, we don't want to change it until we have done our selection process. So I am going to say, hey, we're going to store off we're going to go, hey server. Instead of writing directly into the variable, we are going to store it for now, and that way we could say, hey, we were selected, and if the server changes it, we're not going to change our client state yet until after we have done the thing. So that way, if the server changes it, we could call the thing correctly. So if we get changed or anything, the client could replicate things. So if we don't have an authority, so this would mean like if we have a turret and we're connecting and for some reason we got our lasers before our turret and it's not in yet, we have to put it in in a pending list. That's what this guy is. And fortunately for us, the pending stuff will directly call the selection or not based on this variable. So we could just assign it to whatever the server has told us. Basically, it works as what it's been doing before. Now, if we're going to do a deselection, we want to check what the server is telling us instead of our own state. And if we have changed, now we change our client state. Bam. We have deselected. Now we have to do the same thing for the server. Woo. Up. And we'll change this to our fancy dancy level, or our variable. Bam. So now, when the client gets the server information, it won't directly write into that variable. Instead, we will check to see what the client has done, assuming we actually have basically an authority. The authority is, the actual, the player, sitting down in the seat. It's like you sit here, you get this, this, and this. So now that we have the selection and we're making sure that we only set the selection when we have an authority, we are going to compile and see what happens. Recode. All right, so as you can see in our green little output that we have here, we have no thrusters. And when I get off the seat, it removed all the pipes because we're not using the thing anymore. Cool. He'll get up from the seat, and then we'll sit down again. And once he has seated down, we should get all the fun stuff. Bam! I have gotten all the things. And now, whee, I could fly. Whoa. Let my ship figure itself out. There we go. Actually, funny enough, we only have, we have quite a few thrusters. You can see them here popping in and out. As you use the thrusters, they'll make heat. In this case, I'm looking at the heat pipe. But you can see I'm actually flying and everything is connected. So we are good to go. Woo! All right, to recap, we had a little problem with our item system authority where the client would get locked into a state of, hey, you use this item, and it would never change it. So then when a new guy popped in, it wouldn't give you access to, your thrusters because it was still in the selected state. And what I had to do was clean that up a bit so when you get out of the seat, it makes sure to set the selection to false, and then when you get back into the seat, it actually now populates it as true and allows you to do the selection deselection. And unfortunately, this has never popped up until we got into these bigger maps, and we're starting to see some fun little things because we're networking a lot of stuff in these huge maps, so we're getting all these fun little issues that have been around, but they're more dominant in these big maps, which is kind of cool because we get to actually fix these things rather than them being, you know, minute instances that one guy gets but no one else gets. So it's pretty cool. A little frustrating, but we're getting there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time.
This video made possible by the ICC Stellar Surveyors and subscribers like you.